Hi, welcome to this episode of BNU Noise Makers with me, Peter Waterman, Senior Lecturer in Music Production. I'm here today with BNU graduates, Sophia Sanghera and Phoebe Wilkinson. Say hello.
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 How does it feel to be back at university?
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, there's like the same but different. Got nice stuff now.
We didn't have nice stuff when...
We had nice stuff but improved.
Yeah.
Free stuff. Yeah.
So could you tell everybody what course did you do and what year did you graduate?
On me first. Okay. I did audio and music production and I graduated in 2022. I graduated in 2022. Yeah.
And I did music management and studio production, and I graduated the same year, so 2022.
Could you just talk a little bit about your experience at university and some of the things that you got up to in the lectures, some of the things you got up to outside of lectures?
Yeah, I guess we had a weird time at uni because obviously the pandemic began in our first year, I think. So I would say it's quite an unconventional 3 years. But I think we made the most of it. Quite a bit of that time was online to begin with.
How many lockdowns did you have when you were... Was it both?
I think it was...
The Christmas one and
And another one.
It was March.
I think, honestly, the lectures were my favourite part, and I don't know, maybe that says a lot about the social life at the time of COVID, but yeah, we just had great fun, though. There wasn't many of us in our year class at the time.
And it was really nice. It was just like going to see your mates, basically.
Yeah, and I think the lecturers were a big part of that as well. Like, just, it felt like more of a casual kind of chat rather than a traditional sort of lecture that you might see in, TV shows or something like that. But again, that might be to do with the fact that we study music and it's a bit more kind of...
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's also, small class, friendly lecturers, it's easy to just come in and, chill, really.
Yeah, I think outside of sort of lecturers, we also, we spent a lot of time in the studios in general, I think. A lot of time doing assignment stuff, but also just using the facilities, like, that was probably the main thing. When... Obviously, because of COVID, we couldn't use them all the time. So when we could, we just got back in and we'd sort of book them every week, just to make sure we were getting the most out of it.
I seem to remember both of you in the studio an awful lot, especially in third year.
Yes. I think the Foley really brought out a weird kind of side of us. I don't know whether it was like this room and, the lack of fresh air or something, but...
Those fruit and veg smashing sessions we used to do.
Yeah, some really just, barking on the floor, trying to make some dog sounds and stuff for one of my Foley pieces. So yeah, it's been a weird ride for sure.
Could you tell us a little bit about the job roles that you've had since graduating in 2022?
Well, I went straight into working at Oxford O2, which is music venue in Oxford. So I'm assistant technical manager there. It's live sound based, but there's also a bit of office work involved, like advancing stuff and nosing through people's tech specs and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so I took advantage of Focusrite's placement scheme. So they are quite a local company. They're within sort of 5 miles of the uni. And I was local to High Wycombe anyway, so it worked well for me. But yeah, I did a year as a placement in tech support. So I was just doing kind of answering phones and replying to customer tickets and manning the live chat and things like that. And it sounds quite mundane, but it was actually really good fun. And then, I basically got kept on into a permanent role, which was great. It's exactly what I wanted, and my manager pushed quite hard for it, which was really nice of him. And I've been there about a year and a half now, and I'm absolutely loving it. They're a great team, great company to work for, and it's kind of a stepping stone, I think. I'm not saying my life will be tech support, but it's a really good way in.
Did the university play any role in the sort of direct placements for any of these jobs for you?
For me, you sent me the job, I think.
Did I?
Yeah. Pete sent me the job email and I applied. Otherwise I wouldn't have even applied, I think, because I'd have been like scary, but having a lecturer be like, you maybe go for that. It was very helpful. So
yeah, it definitely builds your confidence, doesn't it? I think I saw the Focusrite placement add up, and I said I was going to apply for it, and I spoke to you, and you were like, yeah, absolutely go for it. And again, it's just that confidence boost that you need, because it feels like you're so unprepared, but actually you know a lot more than you think you do, I think.
Just going back to university then, just tell us a little bit about the lectures that we did here together for 3 years. The different type of lectures you did and how much fun you had.
Yeah, I guess like the practical stuff was always my favourite, kind of being hands-on with the equipment. getting set a task, record these drums, horrific sounding drums at the time. They're much better now. Obviously on purpose, so you can try and get the best sound out of them. And just us trying to muddle our way through working all of the equipment that was here. That was kind of my favourite style of learning, I think.
For me, and I think that's a fiddle with it.
Yeah, that's why people study this course as well. It's not a sit down and you're taking notes constantly. It's very much hands on with the equipment.
What was the toughest piece of work you did during your degree? And then what was the most fun piece of coursework you did during your degree?
I mean, most fun's probably easy to answer because I can remember it because it was fun. Toughest, I might have chosen to not remember it.
Block it out.
But most fun I'd probably do is one of the mixing kind of assignments. They're 5.1 and Dolby Atmos one. It was kind of weird trying to learn how it worked, but actually doing the assignment I really enjoyed and learning about it, and some of the maths behind how Dolby Atmos and stuff works and the omnidirectional mic and all of that. I like that, and getting to use it, and it's just stuff you don't normally get to use, I think. So yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I have to say I think that was my favourite as well. Just using the omnidirectional mic and kind of experimenting with kind of positioning and things like that. And
is that the sound field mic you're talking about?
Yeah, the sound field mic. Yeah, so mixing in 5.1 versus stereo is just another ball game. So yeah, and I also really enjoyed my dissertation practical work. Actually, I was recording in different locations, so I had a stairwell as one of them, the infamous stairwell recording, where a microphone got dropped down the stairs. Not by me, I will say.
Was it an expensive microphone?
It wasn't the most expensive, but it was a good one.
Was it though?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. I wish I'd got that recording though, because that would have been cool to chuck in as a sample or something.
The sound of the microphone hitting the floor. Yeah. Nice.
And then just, yeah.
Phoebe, you won an award when you graduated. What did you win?
Yes, I did. I think I won a James Award.
Did you?
Yes.
Do you remember what that was for? I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Was it dissertation?
I think it was just student award, just for being there. I should probably find out because that doesn't sound very good on podcast.
No,
I don't know what I won. I won something. But yeah, so I got a voucher for some Amazon goodies, which I bought a pair of nice headphones that I can use at work because I didn't own a pair of headphones before then. And I got to go, me and some other students from other universities got to go to Leeds for a week and work with Ken Scott, who produced David Bowie and the Beatles. And yeah, we got to go and see him mix a band, and he lectured us for a week, and it was really cool.
That must have been amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool. I he drops in stories and it would reference John, and then it would be that's John Lennon that you're talking about. Cool. So yeah, it was really good. Yeah. So
you mentioned earlier about the class sizes being quite small when you were here. We've been talking about this outside of the podcast, but obviously we've had a huge increase of students footfall over the last couple of years. But we're obviously still a very small university. But there are some advantages to that and there are some disadvantages to that. Do you think having smaller classes here was sort of an advantage to you, or would you rather have had more students in the room like we have now? Or
yeah, I mean, for me personally, I loved our small classes. Again, it felt like Phoebe said earlier, just kind of going and seeing your mates, and it was very casual. And it also kind of you feel like you have more of a voice, I think, and you're more confident to kind of speak up, or you might be asked questions directly, or you might have more access to the facilities and stuff. There's less people kind of fighting for space. So I think that worked really well for me, and I learned better kind of hands-on. So that was definitely ideal for me. I don't know what you thought would say.
Yeah, no, I definitely small classes. You hear about my friends went to other universities on different courses, admittedly, but they're just drop in their class is 300 people and they don't know their lecturer and they don't talk to them, and I kind of can't really imagine it. I think it would be really weird coming in and not knowing the people who are teaching you, and not being able to have that kind of chat. And it also makes it easier to raise questions or just literally send over your essay and be is it wrong? And that, I think, it's something that you don't really get in other places, and it's definitely an advantage.
Yeah.
So the facilities at the university are one of the most important things we have as part of any of the courses here. But the audio facilities, particularly, we've done very well to invest as many as £100,000 in all sorts of equipment over the last few years. when you started your degree, it was 2019, and was it 2018, 2019?
2019.
Yeah. So what were the rooms like compared to what they are now? Do you remember? In the studio, obviously.
You had a big old D command, I think.
Yeah.
I missed the D command. Yeah,
It was. It worked.
We've still got one in the cupboard, haven't we?
really. Good to know.
So yeah, and here it was that, and then in Studio One, I think it was another D command. I think it might have been something like
They
that.
were both D commands,
Yeah.
until they upgrade, yeah.
Yeah, and then like about halfway through, we got the Dolby Atmos studio, and like the new desk in there, and new desk in Studio 3.
So you were unlucky not to have had any of
Didn't
those
touch those.
refurbed in.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like if we had this kind of when we first started, I feel like it would have enhanced our experience so much, just because you don't see analog very much anymore.
Yeah.
Especially with like working at home on doors and stuff like that. Not everyone can afford to have all this equipment, so seeing and being able to visualize how things actually work and seeing the signal path and being able to change things physically, I think it's just invaluable.
The mic lists and everything are all the same pretty much, aren't they? You had the standard 414s and the K184s and all the dynamics and everything.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a sort of general question, but can you tell us about how you think the university has helped you in your career so far, whether that's to do with lectures or support, I don't know, getting a job or anything at all? What sort of things has the university done to help you?
I think it was like also being able to juggle lots of different types of work for me as well, because like in my job it's like you work in the office and you're also working a gig at the same time, and then you're also working club, and you've got to deal with like lots of different people. And yeah, at university I worked at the venue for a little bit, and I worked doing the other university podcast, and as well as like all the assignments and lecturers and everything. And it was just kind of good to know different lecturers, what they're looking for, and then be able to kind of compartmentalize it. I think that kind of organisation helped me quite a lot. And also just, like the knowledge that uni gives you, like especially with the kind of more science side of stuff that at work you kind of use but you don't think about using. That I sometimes like find myself thinking about something and like how the signal path works and all of that, and I'll be like, I wouldn't get that if I hadn't been here and figured that out and had like the space to like write about it and stuff like that. So yeah, that kind of thing, as well as like moving away from home, living on your own, dealing with people in that kind of sense. So yeah, all of that.
What would you advise to prospective students about the university? You know, how would you discuss with them what your experience has been like at university? And
I would say, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You use the facilities. The amount of people that just wouldn't kind of book on it and spend time in their spare time doing it, whether or not you want to go out or do something else, but you'll only have these once, and I feel like we did make the most of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's one regret I didn't want to have, because when do you ever have access to these kind of facilities for free? Yeah. Granted, you're paying for your uni fees, but that's probably the main thing. And also, like, it's easy said, but don't get bogged down with kind of coursework and stuff. Absolutely. Just enjoy each lecture and enjoy what the subject matter that you're learning, and take time to do your own stuff in your free time, and like take all the opportunities that come along. We did some stuff in terms of like sound for film, and like you also did the podcast and things like that. I think just take every opportunity you get to enhance your experience, because it's those things that you'll remember, not like this specific piece of coursework or something.
Yeah. Phoebe, you ran a society, was it radio?
Yeah, for radio, yeah.
How did that come around?
Well, I signed up for it at the Freshers' Fair, like first week, because I kind of went into it knowing that I'd wanted to look at doing radio. I wanted to do it for work experience back when I was in like year 10, and I didn't do it. I went to a festival instead. So I signed up for it, and we basically went into a meeting. They were like, well, we don't really have the radio yet, so we kind of need you guys to like start that. Like the first year was like trying to just get it to work, and they had some connections with Wickham Sound that I don't know if they still have. So it was like learning it, and then the next year, myself and my flatmate Aaron, we became the station managers, and then it just was kind of like we liked doing it, so we just kind of kept getting upgraded. I think I was secretary of it for a while. So it's just kind of happened.
And so for the Radio Society thing to start up, obviously you needed a bit of funding and equipment. Was that provided for you by one of the parties here? Or?
Yeah, so it was provided by the Students' Union. We had a lot of support from them. Like we had this lady called Nellie, who I think worked in marketing, She helped us out a lot. She was like the mother of the radio kind of, and made sure that we got all the money that we needed. I think at one point we got a new desk for the radio as well, which was like a huge upgrade, and like keeping the music libraries, you know, updated and all of that. So yeah, it was definitely the uni gave us money for it. Yeah, it was very good.
Have you done any radio since you stopped university?
I did for a while. I did at a local radio station to me called Windrush Radio. I did a show every Sunday for 2 hours. So I did that for a while, and then work picked up basically, and I started working weekends, and then I couldn't have like hours in the week to plan a radio show, and I can't just freeball it. So I was like, yeah. But yeah, it was good fun, and I would do it more if I had the time.
And obviously we're coming towards the end of an academic year quite quickly, so we've got another bunch of graduates coming out into the real world now. Have you got any advice for those lot as well, rather than just not coming in to university?
I'd say definitely like give yourself some time after you graduate before you get a job. Like it's important to go and get a job in the industry and to look for that, but it's also important to take a break, because you've had like a very intense 3 years doing uni, and sometimes if you go straight into work you get burnt out really quick. So it's good to just like stop for a while, think about what you actually really want to do, and then look at it, and there will be jobs out there.
Funnily enough, there has been opportunities for both of you to come back and do lectures, is that right?
Yes.
What's the opportunities then? Obviously you're working at Focusrite, so we're talking a little bit about getting you in to talk to the students about innovation equipment at some point, aren't we?
Yeah. So I've kind of acted as the port of call for Buck's new uni at Focusrite now, which is really cool. It's kind of managing the relationship and kind of giving something back, I guess, to the uni, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a guest lecture, didn't we, at the beginning of the academic year? And that was really fun, just kind of getting to, again, relive our experiences and provide some, hopefully, good advice. But yeah, maybe some kind of workshops and things that we'll be coming back for, and just kind of showcasing the equipment, I guess.
Yeah. And Phoebe, you were asked as well to come back at some point when you used to do some live stuff. It might happen that time, but
it's hard to kind of sync timetables when I'm like, might have shows.
Yeah.
But Sophie and I came back and did a little guest lecture, and I gained a member of staff from that, so very good.
Talk a little bit about that then. So obviously it was James, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was James,
in his first year.
Yep, he sent us a very polite little email saying that he'd like to have a job, and we were like, well, fortunately for you, we're hiring. And yeah, he came in and did a little shadow day, and we were immediately like, yeah, he's great. And he's only like 19, and he's better than me easily. So yeah, I can't say enough good things about him, really.
There's obviously a big picture of him on the wall now. Would be
he is famous,
winning Harman Live Engineer of the Year at the university.
So it's been really good for us. And yeah, James is like, he's very much on the up and up. He got
It's an interesting way of getting a job, isn't it? Asking the person that comes into university to do a talk if they've got any job opportunities available. But it did work, didn't it?
Yeah, and like we do. If you're sad internet, please contact me.
Yeah, excellent. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I kind of was worried about was getting a graduate job. I don't know whether it's changed since, but there wasn't too much in the way of, it might have been a COVID thing again, in terms of kind of career fairs or anything, especially for the music industry, because it's a bit of a weird one. But my only advice, I guess, would be just put yourself out there. Like, you might see something and be like, oh, I don't know if I can do all of those things on that list, or, you know, whether they're going to take me or not. What's the worst case scenario? You know, just apply and see what happens. That would kind of be my advice. And also just take some like work experience, or maybe start. You know, I got a job in tech support, and the best example I can give is the managing director of Focusrite started in tech support. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you start. It's just kind of how you then progress and what you do on the way.
Yeah, I mean, following from you, it's kind of weird in the music industry because it's sort of a who you know sort of thing, especially like I find with live, it's very much everybody is like interconnected in some way. So yeah, it's literally just about contacting people like James did. And if you're nice, you're kind of in, you know, it's more about being nice and knowing people.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming back.
Thanks for having us.
Just to say, you know, Phoebe and Soph were the first students I had that I saw through for 3 years. And the graduation was extremely emotional for me, and I'm very proud of both of you for how far you're going in the industry at the moment. So you're flying the flag for the university and for me. So thank you very much for doing that.
No, likewise. When we kind of talk about uni every now and then, it's always kind of yourself and Gerard and Warren that always come up as like the main sticking points for
The good times.
Thank goodness for that. Lovely. Okay, well, thank you very much again, and see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.